Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to
What's
the
going
Act
on,
Right Out
everybody?
Loud podcast. I am your host, Jermaine.
What's up, y'all? I'm Tanya. We are excited to be back
Yes,
for
we are.
another Saturday. You feeling good,
I'm feeling great.
babe?
I'm feeling absolutely great. Great week.
Has been a great week.
Great week. Great day so far.
Yeah.
Man, ready for some good conversation.
Yeah.
Last week was a great conversation piece. Great conversation started in terms of us just really keying in on some of the engaged people, the
Yeah, man. How y'all
seriously,
feeling out there, engaged people?
seriously dating people, and then even for those first year, second, third year of marriage,
Yeah.
um, just for everybody,
Yeah.
just
Some
for
good
everybody.
conversation for
Yeah.
everybody.
So, yeah, good weekend. You have a good week, rather.
I always have a good week, baby.
Oh, okay, I just want to be sure. Just want to be sure. Listen, like always, this Act Right Out Loud podcast is brought to you by
The one, the only.
Atkins Act Right.
Atkins
Act
Act
Right. If you have
Right.
not done so, or if you have not had the opportunity,
Mhm.
head over to AtkinsActRight.com.
Yeah.
You can get to know us a little better.
Yeah.
We have material, books,
Mm-hmm.
coaching, counseling, the whole 9 yards. Just go directly
Just
over.
go to that. Go to the website.
Yeah, go to the website.
Go to AtkinsActRight.com. Check us
Absolutely.
out.
If you're not following us,
I was just about to. You better be in sync today.
yes. If you're not,
If you
following
are
us,
not following us on social media,
Yes.
you need to be.
absolutely,
Atkins Act Right is our social handle
yes, it is.
for Instagram and Facebook.
You
Check
can
us out,
find us
y'all.
right. You can find us on there, and
Yeah.
then listeners, watchers, help us out.
Mm-hmm.
Share from YouTube so we can get some more subscribers. I had to get my words out.
I see.
Get some more subscribers. Naming all these different social media outlets.
Do you get tongue tied, right?
Tongue tied, tongue twisted.
I feel like we have to go through too many preliminaries just to get to the meat of our message.
You know what? This segment right here, we may have to start do a commercial.
Yeah.
We're moving on now. We're doing big things.
Yeah, we need somebody that can create a
Right.
commercial
Yeah,
that
that
does
way-
all this for us, and we
Right.
can dive right
We can go
into.
directly into
Yeah,
the
because we never
nitty-gritty.
know if we got a first time visitor. If this is, we could be on episode 20.
Are we in church? I didn't know we first time.
I blame you.
You should.
To all my
You
first
should.
time visitors, please stand.
right. Listen,
No, but for real though, we
yeah.
never know if we have new subscribers.
Yes.
Is that better?
Yeah.
We never know if we have new subscribers. So we always want to introduce ourselves and talk about our website.
Yeah.
But like Atkins said, we're gonna get someone to create a video for
Yeah,
us. So
I
it can be
think-
like a commercial.
Right. I
prior
think it'll be
to-
pretty neat.
I do too.
Yeah,
I do too.
I think
But
it'll be
moving
neat.
on.
So listen, we're just in this space of talking about the journey between yes and I do. And last week we kind of kicked this next phase of conversation, if you will,
Mhm.
off with who are you
And where did you
and
come
where did
from?
you come from? As
Yeah.
we really looked into the importance of understanding
Your home of origin.
your home of origin
and your family dynamics.
yeah. Because you remember, you're two people coming together. That means that there are two families coming together,
Mm-hmm.
and there are different personalities, there are
Mhm.
different ways. And so the best thing for you to do is make sure that you know where you come from.
Know you.
Yeah, know yourself first, but then
Mhm.
also make sure that your spouse, significant other, whatnot, they know as well, because it's really important.
Mhm.
It's really important.
Mhm.
Me and Tanya, we talk all the time about how when we were on our journey,
Mhm.
friendship, courtship, engagement, it was just a lot of things that we have questions about, and we were like, well, why do
Yeah.
you do this? Why do you think this way? And then it wasn't until we got around our families and we were like, oh, so this is okay. I see y'all do this a lot. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So a lot of times couples don't discuss that.
Yeah.
They don't discuss that.
Yeah.
But today we're gonna have a discussion about the journey.
Let the journey begin.
It's all about the journey.
Yeah.
The reason why this conversation is so interesting
Mm-hmm.
is because I believe that within relationships, marriages, or whatnot, then there are different journeys that you take.
Yeah.
I use us for example. There was the journey of friendship, the
Yeah.
journey of getting to know each other even deeper beyond friendship,
Yeah.
the journey of the courtship,
Yeah.
the journey of the
The engagement. And now we're on the journey of marriage.
the journey of marriage.
Yeah.
So when you hear us say the journey between yes and I do,
Mhm.
don't get it twisted. There's some journeys, some sojourns that you have to take before you get to
the
yes and I do part.
yeah.
So it's really it's really important, and it's also important. I always use this analogy. I'm never going to get inside of a car with someone
If I don't know where they're going.
if I don't know where they're going. If I don't know where they're going. And,
Message.
right. And I think it's the same for us in relationships and in a marriage. Surely you're not going to say yes to someone.
Mm-hmm.
Someone asks you to marry them. Not going to say yes to them if you know. Number one, you don't know where they're going in life. At least I hope you wouldn't.
Right, no, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. Are you asking me?
No.
Is this question for me?
no, know where you're going, and then just ask yourself this question: are you willing to take this journey with that person? With that person.
Yeah. Because it's not like those roller coaster rides. You get on it for a few minutes and then you can get out and go on to your next.
Right.
This right here is a journey that keeps going.
Right.
Where it goes up, down, round, and around. It continues.
Yes.
That makes sense.
So, and basically what you're saying is if we're just using the roller coaster analogy, you know, sometimes it's going to be a smooth ride.
Sometimes it's going to get a little bumpy.
It's going to be a major drop on the roller coaster. You're going to go up, down, just with, you know. So
and it's going to be rocky like that. What's that ride at Six Flags that I absolutely hate?
Texas Giant. The Texas Giant.
It's so uncomfortable. So it will shake you.
It will shake you back to life. And you
back to life.
Get off that something with a huge headache.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
When you hear the word journey, what really comes to mind?
Adventure.
Like
instantly adventure came to mind. Like when you're taking a journey, it means that you're experiencing something.
Right.
And you're learning.
Right. So
you're getting educated, right?
Right.
But I think the biggest thing is adventure. We have to see this as an adventure.
Yes. Yeah, I believe you have to see it as an adventure, but then also, most importantly, this journey. And some of you all may be in the process of your journey right now. Mm-hmm. This journey can only be built on in terms of whoever you are in the relationship with, whoever you are getting ready to marry, the whole 9 yards. The infrastructure of that journey is
how it's built.
Yeah. How well do you guys mesh with each other, and then really understanding the power of agreement. The power of agreement.
I'm glad you pulled that in there because I was trying to figure out how we can direct ourselves to what we're actually going to be discussing. Okay. I feel like talking about the journey has so many components, right? We can go in different directions with it. But I also feel like you can't start the journey unless you two agree.
This is true.
So for us to discuss the journey, we have to start with one of the most important aspects of the journey.
Right.
The power of you two agreeing to take this journey together.
Right. And in Amos chapter 3, verse 3, it says, how can two walk together unless they agree? So we wanted to make sure, using us as an example, we wanted to make sure that we were taking the journey together, and we wanted to make sure that every time we look to our left or to our right, that we were still there. That we didn't bet out on each other
right.
or anything.
We didn't church finger.
Right. Without saying
anything, bail out.
Anything.
Yeah.
But I think that passage of scripture is extremely powerful, just in relationships as a whole. Yeah. How can two people walk together unless they agree? And so the journey within itself, it begins when you and your future spouse make this sound decision.
Sound decision.
What
makes it sound?
Yes.
Talk about what makes it sound.
A sound decision means that you guys have discussed and talked, visualized what this journey is going to look like, what it's going to look like on the other side of the journey. You guys have looked at it. You've looked at it in depth, not glanced at it, but looked at it in depth. You had the hard conversations. You asked the hard questions, and then based on both of you all's responses, and you guys feel good about the response as well. That means that now you guys can really start this journey because you're in agreement with each other regarding how you want your future to look like.
Yeah.
Because so many times people are quick to have agreement and disagreements about the actual wedding ceremony, but have not had the conversation
about the marriage.
Like, what do we do? See, it's a different thing. We're trying to make a decision on if one of your caterers, for the ceremony, follows through. Yeah. Versus on the other side of
where we gonna live at.
Thank you. Where we're gonna live at, how we structuring everything.
Yeah.
And somebody quickly probably saying, why is this conversation important? It's important because there are so many people who fail to have the conversation in regards to the journey within itself.
Yeah, and it's important to have because the journey is often assumed and not discussed.
Yes.
They go, some people go into the marriage with assumptions.
Right.
This is going to happen because I've seen this, or that's going to happen because I know this person on that level. But you don't have the conversation to clarify.
Right.
And to discuss expectations and standards, right?
Yes.
Because I'm going to agree with what is something that's going to be conducive for us.
Right.
I'm not going to just agree because you said so.
Right.
So when we talk about the power of agreement, we're not talking about, just because you're seeing him as the head of the household, that he makes all the decisions. So you just have to agree. You know what I'm saying? This is about you two coming together and making decisions together.
Right.
And you're combining two households.
Yep.
If children are involved, you're blending a family. You're putting yourself in position to be a different person because now you have a new role.
Right.
Right.
Right. A role that for some, this is your first time stepping into this role.
Yeah.
Or for some, it may be your second time stepping into this role, but now you have a clearer understanding of this husband role or of this wife role. But now, here's two things. Number one, the power of agreement. This is going to be crazy. The power of agreement between you and your spouse or your future spouse or whatnot. The power of agreement is not the absence of disagreements. The power
you
of
better
agreement,
talk about it, sir.
It is not the absence.
It is not
of disagreement.
It is not, because conflict is still
a
thing.
Right. The power. What makes the power of agreement powerful is how you all handle the disagreements. Can we come together in agreement on how we are going to handle this disagreement, this spat, just So when we say power of agreement, I don't want you to leave this this video today,
thinking
that I've been empowered with the power of agreement, and that there will not be no disagreements. There will be disagreements. There will be disagreements. Okay.
But the thing about your agreement, you two coming together to agree, is about you agreeing that we will not allow our disagreements to shape us,
right,
and determine how we communicate with each other.
Right.
That is the power of y'all coming together and said, I know we disagree, but we will not let this shape us and form us into people that cannot talk, cannot communicate our feelings.
Right. And I think what's very interesting and what can be pulled out just from this point alone is that the journey actually cannot begin until both of you as individuals can accept who you are.
Yeah.
Be okay with who you are as an individual.
Right.
Please do not take anybody into this journey believing that you taking the journey with them or with this particular person is going to, this is how you're going to find yourself and your purpose.
This is what's going to make me know who I am.
No, that needs to be, you need to have that.
You need to go back and look at last week's episode.
You need to really have that situated
before
this journey.
Yeah, so many people add to their lives without first knowing who they are. They have kids without knowing who they are. They get married without knowing who they are. And they wonder why there's so much turmoil and so much pushback and struggle because you haven't found out who you are. And now you've added individuals to your life. And that makes it harder.
Yes.
Because now you have to think about the role that you're in as a mother, a wife, and still try to figure out individuality.
Right. Because here's the thing, y'all. The journey, when we talk about the journey, especially if anybody's listening now and you are presently engaged and you have a date set, I want you to hear this from us. The journey that we speak of is not the journey of you guys going to pick the dress out, picking the tux out.
Oh, no. Let's be clear.
Yeah,
Let us be clear. Let us be very clear.
The journey is that opportunity and that time for you guys to really dive in and dig in and ask all the questions that need to be asked, because you don't want past issues to go unaddressed, because if they go unaddressed, part of your journey is going to be those past things
manifesting, as people like to say,
right, in your present. In your present. So the journey, pretty much, I'm not even going to say pretty much. The journey definitely is going to take some work. It is absolutely going to take some work.
Some good work.
Good work.
Because if we deal with our past, and I'm not saying that this is something that you will be able to do prior to all the time.
Right.
Everybody's journey is different.
Right.
We don't make the assumption that your journey is going to be like ours because we're two different people. We're not all the same.
Right.
And we all have our own past. We all have our own, what am I trying to say? Journey to follow.
Yeah,
I guess you would say.
process.
Yeah, we all gotta have our own process, right? But what we are saying is, in order for your journey to begin with someone else, you first have to know who you are,
right,
so that you'll understand the person that you're becoming as a spouse.
Right, because you. So it's now. This is a play on words.
Okay.
Because we're quick to say, "Oh, this is my better half." This is my better half. Oh, this is my better half. This is my better.
You said that before?
I never said that.
I've never said
but
that.
But I've heard people. I've heard,
but it's kind of like a older generation thing.
Yeah. This is my better half.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we need for you to be whole.
Ooh.
Before you begin to talk about what is a better half. And so the journeys. I'm trying to dress it up.
I see you being real careful with them words.
Well, because people get into engagements and they are so quote unquote overwhelmed with, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. Everybody's planning for the ceremony.
Yeah.
But nobody's planning for the wedding. I mean for the
marriage.
Nobody's planning for the marriage. Everybody's overlooking the journey. And then some people will probably think, well, doesn't the journey begin once you get married? If you're waiting to take the significant journey that we're speaking of now until you get married,
you're already behind.
You're behind. You're behind. And that means that once you come off that honeymoon stage,
it gets real.
Yeah, reality is gonna set in, and it's gonna be like, I didn't know it was gonna be like this. I didn't you know, we get these stories of people coming home from work and they sit in their driveway 30 minutes before they go in, just trying to.
Jesus.
But you work from home though, so you don't. You ain't got to.
I ain't got to drive.
You ain't got to
I ain't got to
drive nowhere. So the journey is very significant, but you want to make sure that you, as an individual, you are you're whole going into the journey, into the process.
Yeah. So when we talk about the power of agreement, we think that the power of agreement is important in many aspects of the marriage, right? So you start to agree early on in the beginning when you agree to become husband and wife, or when you agree to become monogamous, really. When you get to a point to where marriage is to go, but right now we are committed to just each other. There are no outside people involved. It's just us. So when you make that agreement for marriage to be to go, that's when you start to learn each other.
Yeah.
And that's when you start slowly moving into the phase of we are engaged.
Right.
Should I say slowly?
Yeah.
Should it be slow?
It depends. Sometimes.
Do you think ours were slow?
Our engagement?
Yeah.
No, I think our time was actually great.
I think our relationship did so many twists and turns.
Yeah.
And then when we finally got to the point of we're gonna be together.
Right. And
then
y'all so nosy. Don't be trying to figure out what was our twists and turns is about.
How you know that's what they doing?
That's what they think about.
What kind of twists and turns did y'all have?
We're gonna get to that part.
You know, we share what we want to share because we don't care what y'all think. Not about our marriage. We don't. Yeah, we're not that couple that's gonna be like, I wonder if they like us. No, because we good right here.
Yeah. So I was thinking about something in terms of. So a lot of times the reason why people don't like to really dive into the journey is because when they really dive into it, there's so many aspects of the journey, especially if you're really trying to get into wanting to have a successful and pleasing marriage. And one of the main components of that journey is your counseling, your premarital counseling, your premarital coaching and things of that nature. It just, for some reason, it does something to me when I see people make posts like, what y'all think about asking, what y'all think about marriage counseling, stuff like this. And then you have all these self-made people come in, or don't do it, build on love. And then the same people who saying don't do it, build on love, they were nowhere to be found.
Single as ever.
That too.
Or divorced multiple times.
Right. Or they don't nowhere to be found for you to really glean from them in terms of why. So a lot of people bypass that part of the journey, and then with them bypassing that, instead of them really addressing certain things that need to be addressed before you say I do. Before you say I do, they end up not being addressed.
Yeah.
They may get talked at,
but not talked to,
and not really getting to the root of it.
Yeah.
So we've experienced couples who where when they don't really just key in and focus in on that portion of the journey, you know, after that honeymoon phase, it's somewhat hard. It's hard because now they're having to go back and deal with stuff that they could have easily dealt with
prior to.
Be
proactive and not reactive.
And
I think we kind of touched on that a little bit in one of the episodes prior to this one.
Sorry, in terms of reactive and proactive?
Being proactive.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And that's why we talk about, knowing your home of origin, knowing your family dynamics and how that can affect you as a person, because it all matters what you think of yourself.
Right.
And if you feel like you're not worthy of happiness, but because you desire it so bad, you agree to a proposal that you're not even ready for. Right. So you go into it with dysfunction, or you go into it with red flags that you're not aware of because you have not taken a look at who you were before the engagement,
right?
Who you are in that moment of the engagement,
right? And then you, or you even going into just like you just said, people will still have this whole notion of I'm not concerned with their past. I'm not. You should be. Because
do you know what you're agreeing to?
Right.
Do you know the person that you are agreeing to have into your life to live with?
Right.
Because I don't know about you, but my home is a place of solitude, peace, and happiness. And if the person that I'm agreeing to marry, we've never talked about who they were before me, and all I know is what I see, from them now.
Right.
I would like to know if that has been dealt with.
Right.
Or is that going to peak its head when you and I have a conflict?
Well, going back to last week's episode, because you can't sit back and say that I'm not concerned
with their past.
Well, if this is an example, if Tanya and I decide we are going to get married, she has said yes, but then there are some things with me that I know that I should definitely
deal with
and definitely tell Tanya about. Now, of course, when we decide that we're not going to disclose that information about our lives to the person that we said that we want to be with for the rest of our lives, we rob them of the opportunity to make a decision if they want to sign their name up. Because here I am, I'm serial killer, I'm just background crazy, and
serial killer.
And then a year, 2 months, 2 years into the marriage, oh yeah, by the way, I did this, I did this, I did. I'm telling you things, or things have been exposed or revealed that we both know that you wouldn't have signed up for.
Yeah.
Had you known about it.
Like, think about that whole what was that on TikTok? This girl did that whole "Who Did I Marry?" Episodes, and I'm like, now you're seeing the person that you married, but you could have been proactive and had the right conversations, and you would have learned who you were marrying instead of asking the question after you've married them. Like when people say, I'm not concerned with their past because that was before me and, it has nothing to do with me now. Okay, that could be true, because you could be in a place where you're with someone that has dealt with their past and it is not an issue. But it's not about your concern. It's about the education that comes with knowing the person that you're with.
Right.
And I feel like I know you better because I know where you came from.
Right. So here's a question then. And yes, I'm polling it to you.
Nobody else is here.
I know, right? So, because somebody may be thinking, so couples, when they come into relationships, meaningful relationships, that's actually going somewhere, engagement, courtships, how important do you believe it is for them to discuss like their last serious relationship?
I think that's important.
Yeah.
And the reason why I think that is important, because if I'm dating someone that just came out of a 5-year relationship, right? and they've been single for a year, and so now they're putting themselves back out there to be in a relationship again. I need to know how you handled that, and I need to make sure that that door is closed.
Yes.
And it's not going to reopen on me.
Yeah.
You know,
I need to make sure that you've gotten all of that out of your system.
All that out of your system. I need to make sure that you have forgiven the fact that that relationship did not make it.
Whether it was on you,
whether it was on you or them.
Yep.
I need to know that you've moved past it. I don't need to know the details of
Right.
how, y'all went out, y'all did this.
Yeah.
I don't need to know all that.
See, that's
I don't need the surface thing.
Yeah, I asked that question because some people probably would be open to that, but then it's not to be used as
ammo.
Ammo is not to be used as interrogation.
Yeah.
Or
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. So don't put me on the police light.
Right.
Don't try to grill me because you know my ex.
Right.
Or you've heard things.
So and it's like if certain things pop up, not necessarily bad things, could be just the way you do something, how you view and see something, and you never know how that last meaningful relationship in that season affected your ideology regarding relationships and marriage. And so, that way you can be like, oh, I'm not doing that. And like, I'm not putting up with that.
You have choices.
Yeah.
Because, that just made me think about it. When you decide with your partner to agree, you have the conversation of what you're bringing into the relationship.
Right.
And you're giving them the option to say, I don't agree with that. I'm not agreeing with that.
Yeah.
I'm not agreeing to be in a relationship that's going to be like that.
Right.
Because if you have these conversations and you actually talk about each other and you dig deep into who you really are, why wouldn't you do that with the person that you're planning to spend the rest of your life with? Like, why wouldn't you want them to know your goals and where you came from and how that has affected you or shaped your way of thinking? Right.
Because here's the thing. That's what the journey is about.
That's what the journey. Why are you shortchanging your journey?
Please don't. That's what the journey is about. Don't be so afraid to talk about things that you know that you need to be talking about. Don't be afraid or fearful that if we talk about this is going to end the engagement. Now, don't get us wrong. There are some things that you may talk about that may slow that process down.
But what is the problem with taking your time in relationships? Why are you in a rush to be married when you don't even understand what a marriage is?
Right.
Why are you rushing yourself to be a wife when your mindset is to take care of yourself? Self-love, self-care, nothing related to couples, marriage, engagement. So don't rush to be in a journey of marriage when you haven't even finished the journey of self.
Right. That's good. Because here's the thing. As a man, before I can say I do to be somebody's husband, I need to make sure that I'm a whole man over here.
A whole man.
Which with understanding of responsibilities. It just baffles me how people, they just don't take the journey.
They take the journey
for granted. They take it for granted. They take the journey for granted.
That's good.
They take it for granted.
So, I was thinking, like, when we were talking about, we were doing the power of agreement, like, because this is where the journey really begins. Right. When you two agree to be what you're planning to be to each other. I was thinking about the power of agreement and how it's not only just the agreement that you make about your household and, where the children are involved and how you're going to do that. It's also an agreement that you have to have with each other to deal with the outside world.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you have to have power in your agreement to deal with both sides of the family, in-laws, right? You have to be able to deal with socializing, whether it's with your friends or with family, co-workers, or anything of that magnitude, you have to have the power of agreement so that those outside things don't destroy what you're creating within your house.
Right. You and not only that, your journey, the journey is also a time for you to lay out those non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Because
what's your non-negotiable?
My non-negotiable?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, just gonna ask me like that after 10
Pop it
years
out.
of marriage?
Pop it out.
A non-negotiable.
I know what it is for me. I just want you to share with the people. You don't want to share with the people?
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh, okay.
A non-negotiable for me, you have to be a God-fearing woman. A God-fearing woman with a present relationship with the Father. Because how can we walk together unless we agree? So that means that with me being who I am in God and my relationship with God, I'm not necessarily.
I wouldn't expect anything other than that.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily going to go and pursue anything with someone who practices Scientology.
Different religious beliefs.
Yeah.
You
know.
Well, is Scientology even religious? I mean, they don't believe in anything biblical. I know. I don't know a lot about Scientology. I just know
why
that
I'm not going.
It was given cult.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That is true too. Anytime they start doing documentaries on you,
yeah,
you gotta watch out. You gotta watch
out. Documentaries gonna have you locked up.
You like,
R. Kelly, man. That's it. These documentaries.
Documentaries will get you.
They get you
every time. And don't let Netflix get a hold to it.
Ooh.
Netflix or Hulu.
Yeah.
They will documentary.
Stop. You. Document what?
Documentary you. But so that was. I mean, that's a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you have a list of non-negotiables, it's best for you to talk about them. Don't just show up one day on lunch and here's my list of non-negotiables.
Yeah, because y'all gotta agree.
Yeah, have conversations about those things so that you guys can come to an agreement.
Period.
Come to an agreement.
Yeah. Come
to an agreement. And so many times people, they don't do that. They wait up until it's time for marriage and problems and issues. They wait up until then. So we can't do that.
Yeah, because we can't do that. No.
I
can't do that.
Shout out
but
to
when you walk in agreement, can you just imagine how much harmony is in your relationship? Like the level of conflict that will not exist.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like being in an agreement with someone that accepts what you're bringing to the table, right? Yes. So if I'm telling you, I'll do this thing with you, but my non-negotiable is I have to be able to trust you.
Right.
I have to feel safe and I have to feel secure. And at any moment, if I don't feel that, you will be made aware of it.
Right.
So you have to agree that if I'm ever put in a position to tell you that I don't feel safe, that you can, receive it from me and not feel like I'm blaming you just because of the way that I'm feeling. Like there's levels to it, right?
Yes.
I'm not just gonna make a decision because you didn't tell me you was going out of town. Well, or I forgot that you were going out of town and now I don't feel safe and I don't trust you because you just left and didn't say anything about it. But in actuality, you did and I forgot.
Right. And
was that a good example?
No, it was a great example.
Okay. Because I feel like I was rambling.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay.
You got it. Yeah. You got
it. I heard you in my inner ear.
Yeah, right. There you go. I like when you hear from the inner ear.
So I'm just still baffled that.
Yeah, I don't know what. Can we move on from this baffledness?
In terms of this journey?
Oh, I thought you were talking about how people don't have You just said you were baffled. And
Oh, no. I'm just talking about. I just wish people would press in more in their journey. And I'm thankful that now we didn't get everything right in our journey. There were some areas that we didn't press into, and there were some times.
This conversation is one that we didn't press into.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which is why we know of its importance.
And we felt the effects of us not really leaning into the journey like we should have.
Yeah, because now we see the benefits of it, and we're more secure in who we are.
Absolutely.
Individually and together.
Right.
So these conversations about, your journey, they're not there for you to interrogate each other, like you said. They're not there for that. They're there for you to understand each other, right?
Right.
And create safe spaces to communicate.
Right. And the journey is not always just about how in love you guys are with each other.
Yeah. Love can blind you.
Yes, it can.
Yeah. It can blind you, and it can make you overlook things that really matter. And it can make you put yourself in positions to be uncomfortable and unhappy.
Right. I'm in love, but you're allowing this love that you say that you have to blind you from everything else. When love
is a blinder.
But not only is love a blinder, but then love should also illuminate some things as well.
And that's the problem. People allow it to blind more than it allows them to see.
Exactly.
And because they do that, we don't operate in love the way God intended for us to operate in love. We only operate in the emotions of love, how we feel and how that person makes me feel. And if they make me feel good, then I could be married to them. Yeah. My marriage could but it's not going to last on love, on that type of love alone.
Right.
You have to have the love that the Bible speaks of, patient, kind, not boastful.
Right.
You have to operate in the way that love is an action and not just an emotion.
Right. And then also, I guess it's going to be like a final thought almost. Also, too, when you guys are really dealing with this journey, because we talk about this too, both of you guys are bringing some baggage along with you.
Now, can you remember that? I just want to say something real quick. Yeah. So when we say find out who you are and understand your past before coming into a relationship, we're not saying that all of it will be perfect when you get into the relationship. Yeah. Because even in that, you're still going to bring baggage, right? Because you're still living your life.
Right. Because and this is just speaking to what you just said, the journey itself is discovery as well.
Absolutely.
You're just discovering things. Yeah, you're just discovering things together. Excuse me. And you also are discovering some things about you, as an individual that you now can speak and share with, with your spouse. But this journey, you guys bring in your baggage. Everybody has some baggage. But it is during the journey process to where, in the sense of like, passing that suitcase, let's go through this stuff.
Let's unpack.
Right, let's unpack all this. It's a lot.
Let's unpack.
Let's unpack it.
Now we're gonna take the small bag first, and we're gonna work our way out.
Let's discuss. Okay? We're gonna open it up. We're gonna see what it is,
and then we're just gonna go. Right? We're just gonna go. We're gonna make it do what it do.
Right now, if we come up on a bag where we need to have
the bag with the red tape,
right? A pre-conversation. Hey, let's do that. Okay, so that you can so you won't be caught off guard.
Don't be caught off guard. Right. Now this bag right here contains some things that may be a bit disturbing, because you don't know this me.
Right.
Yeah.
But what does that do? Number one, both of you guys are included in the journey.
Yeah.
But it doesn't rob either of you the opportunity if you want to say, you know what?
That's too much
that's
for me.
That's a bit much for me.
I need to take a step back.
So I'm going to take a step back. So I'm going to take some of my bags. I'm going to reel them back in. And I'm not saying I'm gone.
I'm saying let's kind of let that sit for a sec.
Right.
And let's figure out where that leads us.
Right. Because later on, both of you all will appreciate that versus this popping out 2 years down the line after we got married.
Yeah. And don't allow, and I know that was your final thought, baby, but I do want to add,
you got it.
Don't allow fear to make decisions for you.
Yes.
Because a lot of times we hold on to things and we rob our partner the option to whether they want to agree or not, because we're scared of what it's going to do. Like that piece of baggage with the red tape on it,
right?
That is going to really show you a person that you've never seen before. You know, fear would stop you because you're thinking, oh, there's no way they're going to be able to take this. After I open this bag, they gone. I know they gone.
Right.
You never know what a person can receive from you if you don't tell them.
And you also never know. You also rob that individual of having the capacity to help you.
Unload that stuff.
Unload that.
Yeah.
You know. So
that's a big word in this time. Capacity. Yeah. You know, they didn't use that word to the
just like
manifest capacity. I don't have the capacity.
I don't have the capacity.
Girl, speak English. You don't use capacity a lot. Speak English. You can't handle that right now.
Right. That's what you can't handle.
You just can't handle it.
So
and it's okay.
So don't take the journey for
don't take it for granted.
Don't take it for granted.
Yeah. That's literally the final word.
Yeah.
Don't take the journey for granted. So that's good, baby. Let the journey begin. Let the journey begin with the power of agreement.
Yeah. So listen, I hope we said something today that sparked some interest.
Yeah.
I hope something was said today to where you can take back to your own individual circles and just have some conversations just about the power of agreement, whether it's with your spouse, even with those people that you're just in relationship with, period.
Yeah.
Friends, family.
But most importantly for our engaged couples, take this back to the person that you're, just said yes to spending the rest of your life with. Have this conversation before the wedding date.
Right. And if you're married now and you just by chance didn't have this conversation.
Yeah, discuss it. Because even in the first couple of years of marriage, this is still a good conversation to have.
It's still a journey. You're still discovering.
It's still a journey.
Yeah, you're still discovering. You're still discovering things about yourself and about your new spouse as well.
Yeah.
So listen, we've had fun with y'all today. Get outside, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Day. Yes, it is. And we're having a blessed, beautiful day here in St. Louis. So wherever you guys are, definitely spend some time with your family and just enjoy yourselves. But until next time, until next week.
Bye.
We'll see y'all later. Have a good Saturday. I almost said Sunday. Saturday.
Bye, y'all.